No matter what your dreams or obstacles, you're not alone, and you have the power to change your life and change the world. Join me and inspired freedom-seeking women from around the world as we explore ideas and tools and new methods to live your life your way and serve the world with your unique gifts. And thank you for helping me spread the word of feminine wisdom by subscribing, liking, and sharing your favorite episodes. I'm here today with the beautiful and the magnificent and gorgeous Kasia Richard. We are going to talk about a really cool topic that I have had some mixed feelings around for some time over my life. And by that I mean there's been periods of my life where I've been super into it, and then there have been periods where I'm like, that doesn't work, and just brushed it aside. But as of the last few months, I've had the pleasure of working with Kasia, and she has blown my mind with regards to what she's been able to manifest into her life, and so quickly or instantaneously. Mm-hmm. And so we thought it would be a really cool topic to talk about, to share with you what her experience has been, and not just her experience, but also how she goes about creating the life that she really wants, and the feelings and the desires that you really want. And I'll probably interject, as I always do, my little bits and pieces here and there.
Yes, we love that.
Yeah. So without further ado, I welcome Kasia. It's so great that you're here, that you took the time.
I'm so honored. Thank you.
And we're matchy too.
Yes.
Look at us.
I know.
This is fantastic. We didn't talk about this
like
before.
We're going to a great wedding, and we're the perfect little couple.
But you always do that. You always are so put together. Like you think of every detail.
I like how you
from your makeup
think that.
to your to everything. So that's not what it looks like when you leave the house?
No.
That's
every morning's a bit of a tornado.
Yeah.
I should really plan better, but no. But that's all right.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as like the facade is that, it's all good. I feel
well,
good.
walk me through one of your mornings, because I think mornings are a really big piece to your manifesting powers and magic, right?
Mornings are everything. Mm-hmm. If I ever sleep through an alarm or sleep in, like the day is shot for me.
Yeah.
My mornings are so important and ritualistic.
Yeah.
I used to journal a lot and write pages and pages and pages, and now I'm a mom and a wife and a career person, and I just don't have time for that anymore, which is sad, but I had to find something to fulfill that.
Yeah.
And so what I started doing is 5-minute journaling. It's phenomenal, and I recommend it for so many, even if people that have never journaled or had a diary or whatever. I find a lot of men even love this, even though
because it's fast.
It's fast, yeah. And it's not even 5 minutes. It's called a 5-minute journal. It's guided.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the piece that attracts so many people to
Absolutely.
it, is because it has short, guided questions that you answer, and that makes it fast.
Yeah,
like,
you don't have to think like, oh, what am I?
What do
write?
I feel today?
And the thing is, it's very positive. So it's the first thing I do. I wake up, I literally like reach over, find my journal, and like bring it over, no matter what. Yeah. So the first thing you write is 3 things you're grateful for.
Yeah,
and it could be as in depth or as shallow as you want it. Some mornings I'm just happy for coffee and the rain. And then because I've been doing this so long, I really quickly think about, I'm thankful for the rain because, and then I just like write 2 things maybe. It could be something more in depth, like I'm grateful for having my parents with us still, so my son is growing up with grandparents. Then you write 3 things that would make today great. And again, it could be something super simple. I want 10 minutes to myself. Or if you have a project or a presentation, you want the presentation to go well. So you're setting your intention for the day right off the hop. So 3 things you're grateful for, positive things, and 3 things that would make today great. Again, positive things, right? And then you write an affirmation. So I am whatever. And it could be something you want to feel today. It could be something you were feeling yesterday. It could be something someone said to you. It could be, I am sexy, I am beautiful, or I am grateful for things that haven't worked out because they've gotten me to where I am today. So it could be something, again, quick, or depending on how awake I am, is what my journal.
Right.
And then that's it.
So have you always been drawn to this type of thing? Is this something that you've practiced for a long time and now it's coming to you more naturally? Or
Yes, absolutely. And to be honest, I used to write a lot. I love writing. I've always loved to write. I got away from it for a long time. Now going back into it, even looking back through the last 5-minute journal I wrote when I first started it, it was hard. It was tough. Like, it would probably take me more than 5 minutes. Because I'd be like, oh, what do I write? What am I grateful for? What, and then now it's just like so natural, because here's the thing. I write all these things and I read them through. And then throughout my day, I really focus on what I've written. Even if it is, I'm grateful for coffee. When I have my coffee,
it's more intentional.
Right.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I love coffee to begin with.
Yeah.
When I drink my coffee, it's like I smell it, I taste it, it hits my tongue. I go through the motion of that first sip and I'm just like, oh, I love coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for coffee. It seems so silly, but when you have that vibration of gratitude towards your coffee, you have that around you, and you're going to be grateful for.
Let's speak on that for a second, because it doesn't sound funny. And I think this is actually a really important piece to the manifestation topic.
Yes.
Because we are going about our day in such a autopilot way. And so many things are happening around us, to
Absolutely.
us, that we take for granted. That it isn't until, at least my experience, until something happens that disrupts that very much. So, for example, my husband just broke his leg, and that disruption of our autopilot,
routine.
of our routine, has been amazing. To really watch. And it's going down to the detail of how much more time we take in the morning now. Initially it was because he had to. He can't just jump out of bed and go. He had to sit at the edge of the bed for a little while and let the blood go back to his leg. So I think that's what we need to come back to in our lives, is to be thankful, or to be intentional and mindful around the small things. Like, not everyone in the world can enjoy a cup of coffee. It is a luxury.
It is,
and further to that, of course, it's what the coffee will do for you, for your body, if you're ingesting it with with mindfulness, right? So I love that. I love that you're thankful for even the smallest pieces in your morning.
And I feel when you learn to be thankful for the little things, the bad things don't matter. Because at the end of the day, the journal, you go back to it and you write 3 great things that happened today.
That's awesome.
And it could be something that you had intended. The presentation, let's go back to that. Let's say you wanted to have a good presentation, you wanted to be confident, you wanted to go easy, and it did. So that's something you're grateful for. It could be something unrelated to anything you wrote earlier. It could be something, I had an impromptu coffee with a friend. Right, that happened to me the other day. It was awesome. And then you write one thing that could have made today better. And at the beginning, when I started this, there was a lot. There was a lot of things that could have made today better. Right. No traffic. Not being so busy at work, getting out of work on time, having time for lunch, like things that I felt I was missing.
Right.
Now, I have a really hard time thinking of something that could have made today better. Even if there are things that are so insignificant, they don't matter, and they're not worth writing down. I don't let them affect me. Right. So sometimes I write like, I wish I could have had a dance party, or make things up, because things are so insignificant anymore.
Yeah.
Mindful, like I love that word. That is my word, and I say it probably way too much, but it is so important in everything we do. Being in the present, being in the moment, being in the conversation, being in the presentation. You know, when you're driving, we're so distracted. Sometimes, like we've all done it, where you drive somewhere that is familiar and you don't even remember getting there.
Yeah.
Right? You've lost that.
That's an autopilot.
10, 20 minutes exactly of your life. And you have to really train to be mindful, but it's so important.
So how do you the journaling is obviously one way how you practice mindfulness.
That's how I start. So every morning, just to get back to that, starts with that.
Yeah.
As I do a lot of listening to audiobooks because, you know, we're busy, we don't have time, and I'm in my car a lot, so it's a great opportunity. But I like to start every morning as I'm getting ready, doing makeup, showering, what have you, listening to either a podcast, a quick 5-minute YouTube video, something positive.
I do that too in the morning in the bathroom.
Because it's it's positive. Or you know, I'll just listen to a little bit of my book or something where I have someone speaking to me in a positive manner before anything else infiltrates, anything else cuts in. I've had some positive vibes coming at me, and I feed off that. And I listen. It's really easy to have something playing in the background, and then you're thinking about your day, you're thinking about this. You'll have time to do that when it's time to do that. That's how I start my day, so that I have positive vibes and vibrations. So then as I go throughout my day, I really take, and even actually at the beginning, I used to set alarms on my phone for every 2 hours to say my affirmation to myself. So my affirmation for the day, whatever I wrote in my journal, whether it was one word or a sentence, every 2 hours I would stop and just really quickly say it. And then that's my alarm just was all day going off. Now I do it on autopilot. So my autopilot has changed from doing things like routinely to, I still do the routine things, but I'm aware of what I'm actually doing, right?
You trained your mind.
Right. And it takes a lot of time. And I still have days where I'm like, oh gosh, like what happened to today, right? Like it just, but at the end of the day, before I go to sleep, I make a wish out for my subconscious so that the next day I start again. You know, I don't beat myself up anymore and let like a crappy day, because we're all going to have them, like you can't avoid them.
Exactly.
Like
stuff happens.
Exactly. It's life.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I feel that this is one of those obvious things that always come to my mind first when we're talking about the topic, which was probably why I ended up like deciding for a while to just do this manifestation, like whatever. And that is that idea that when you know how to do this, or when you are more mindful, or when you are a meditator, or when you're a yogi, or when you are this spiritual being that is that everything is just perfect, and that they do everything right, and that they, you know, that we wake up in the morning and everything is perfect, and that we eat every meal with consciousness, and that we like nothing happens bad in our life. And that's not true. Like that Absolutely. Is not the reality. No. I feel, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, I feel what changed for me was that the way I reacted to these things that were happening, that has changed, and how Absolutely. Much I had let them, you know, impact my physical life, but also my energetic life. So where are you with that?
Okay, so this is the perfect time to talk about this, because yesterday I'm very anti-fast food for myself, but I went and I got hash browns from McDonald's, like 6 of them. And normally I would beat myself up and let that ruin my whole day. But you know what? I enjoyed them. I got them, and I enjoyed them. This morning I was like, oh, I sabotaged my diet yesterday, or, you know, but I'm like, you know what? I enjoyed them.
Whereas before, you probably would have spent days following this episode or this situation, beating yourself up over those 5 hash browns.
Immediately I would be like drinking diuretic tea and, you know, restricting food for the next few days to make up for that. No.
Yeah.
You know, none of that.
Yeah.
Well, I understand now, like that, because I'm doing everything with intent. If I want those damn hash browns, I'm gonna have the hash browns, and I'm not gonna beat myself up for it, right? Because I'm doing it with intent. Yeah. And that's the thing, is I feel like we're too hard on ourselves, you know. And when we're trying to put out good vibrations and be happy and you know, all that, and we're so hard on ourselves and we're portraying this, our insides don't match our outsides, and there's a clash. Yeah. You know, you have to yin yang, and you can't do that if you're holding on to things. No, you're just
putting a mask on and going through life pretending.
Right. Yeah. So when you're trying to manifest something, when you're trying to have intent for something specific, your vibrations have to match what you're wanting. This is where it's really important. My morning routine is very important to me, that I'm setting out my vibrational intent for the day, and I have to carry that through for the day. If I find like things are going to happen, again, there's no perfect. You know, you get in a fight with someone, or something doesn't go your way, you get stuck in traffic, you're late. I'm like the worst for punctuality. So this is something I'm working on. So when I'm like on track and I'm like, yes, I'm going to be on time, and then boom, accident. I used to beat myself up so bad, but you know what? My intention wasn't that. My intention was to get somewhere on time. I made the steps. I did what I had to do and learn from that. Okay, next time I'm going to leave 10 minutes early, check the traffic report, whatever. I used to get really angry and let that ruin the rest of my vibration for the day. Yeah. And it's so easy to do.
It is, and it does ruin it for the rest of the day. So what is the impact when you let, vibrationally speaking, when you let something like that affect you? So let's say, and I know this feeling very well, I'm really angry at myself. I say nasty things. How does that affect vibrationally the rest of my day now?
So we're all made of energy, right? We control how this energy is around us. When you're feeling anxious, you feel it physically, right? When you're happy, you feel it. There's a big difference when you think about joy and anxiousness or anger. We control that, and all our energy really deflects onto everything around us. So how many times have you been angry, and then the people around you start taking that on? You know, now they're unhappy, now they're cranky. You know, your work environment went from like a super happy morning, hey, good morning everyone, to like, oh, F or whatever. Everyone's angry by the end of the day and can't wait to get out of there. Everything around us feeds off the energy around us. If your energy is stronger than mine that day, I'm going to start taking on what you got, right? So it's really up to you to be this like really strong field to control what's around you. You can flip someone at the grocery store like this. You know, you can have an angry checkout person and be like, hey, how's your day going? Smile, be happy. They snap out of it really quick. I've never had anyone be like, meh. Like, they're gonna take on what you got. So when you let that anger take over, that anger, frustration, anxiety, that's what you're going to start attracting for the rest of your day. You're going to notice. And this is a really interesting experiment. And I've done these things. I've gone through and I've journaled and I've kept track. And I've done this experimentally where I choose to be a certain emotion. Just to see how it affects the things around me, the people around me, how am I feeling at the end of the day? It really affects it. It really, really does. I choose to be happy. I choose to be calm. I choose to be peaceful. And
because that's what you want to attract.
Right, exactly. So when I have a moment where I'm like, oh crap, you know, I allow myself to have that moment, but I give it 5 minutes and that's it. And you snap out of it.
And that's an important piece, I think, is these feelings want to be felt. And I think it's unnatural for us to just, you know.
We can't just bog it down. No, it's gonna come
override.
Out.
Exactly, override what is a natural feeling. But I think the intention is so important here, that you feel the feeling, and instead of dissolving it or disregarding it or moving along, you actually identify, use it.
Yeah.
Like, what was this about? Why did this come up right now? You know,
is it worth dragging on? You can only sweep so many things under the rug before you start seeing lumps, right?
Yeah, totally.
You need to deal with that emotion.
Yeah.
And you need to give yourself permission to do that.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to decide how much you allow it to affect you.
Yeah.
Right? So if it's like, great, you're stuck in traffic, you know it's going to be over at some point here, right? Like, if it's something more significant, like that you have to grieve or go through, fine, allow yourself to do that.
Yeah.
But try and find the good in it. Everything has good in it.
Yeah.
I actually had a conversation with someone the other day that had a loss. And, you know, it's hard to be like, you can find good in this, to say that to someone with loss, right?
Yeah.
Choose your words wisely.
Yeah.
But when they're ready, you know, all you can say is just try to focus on the good memories. You had this time with this person. Try and remember that and put your energy into those kind of memories, as opposed to the loss of like, I'll never get to see this person again, because we really keep things alive. It's up to us and how we do it, whether you try to remember the good, the bad, the ugly, or whatever. That's up to us. And that's how we can affect our vibration, our mood, is by choosing how we react, what we think, what our thought process is, how long we let it linger, and things like that. So, and there's things that are going to take more than 5 minutes to get over. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you can also compartmentalize things and put them on a shelf and go back to them, right? If you're going into a meeting or a presentation or a family dinner, for example, right? And you
don't have the ability to deal with it at that moment in time.
You know what? It's up to you. Do you walk into that angry and unhappy, or do you walk into that and say, you know what, I'm gonna be here in a half hour, like I can deal with it then, and go in, reset, and go for it. But it's really tough to train yourself, because we're not trained, but that's just, as human beings, how we deal. We linger. We want result. We want a resolve, right? And we want to keep dealing with that thing until there's an answer.
Yeah, that, and we want to. We also learn to just, it's not okay to be not okay.
Right.
And so we very quickly want to get to the other side of it, when sometimes it is worthwhile letting the feeling emerge, and the emotion that's attached to that feeling, really feel it and identify what that is about.
Absolutely.
You know? So I couldn't agree more with you on those points. So when you so you go about your day, and I really liked how you said that you also spend time in the evening, because I think it's also important how you start your day, but also how you end your day. Yeah. So speak to that.
So my evening routine, and when I say evening routine, I mean nighttime. Like when I'm going to bed, I do things like I do my journal. So, and that's the last thing I do before I go to bed. And then I either meditate on my own, or I have a guided meditation playing to get me to sleep. And the reason I do that is that when I journal, I get everything off that I need.
Yeah.
If there's anything that could have made today better, it's on that paper.
Yeah.
If it's not on that paper, it's not worth being on my mind. Okay? So if it's on that paper, I focus on it and I let it go. It's done. The day's done. What am I going to do about it now?
Yeah.
Right? You got to leave it.
Yeah.
Put it on the shelf. If there's nothing there, awesome. Even better. Makes it easier. And then I go meditate, and I just reflect on what are my 3 things that I wrote down that made today great. You know, and maybe there was more than 3, but those are my 3 core.
Yeah, I like that we're going
down.
back to gratitude, right? Like it's focusing on the things that you want more of, rather than the things that you didn't have enough of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no matter what's going on around you, there's always something to be grateful for.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
Coffee. Something so simple, right? Wine.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be magnificent.
No.
It can be as simple as, you know, just
the roof over your head.
The roof over your head.
The friends you have.
Yep.
The rain, because it makes the grass green, you know. I know I'm one of the 5 Calgarians that love winter. So when it snows, I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. It's like, it's a postcard. Yes, driving in it, not my favorite. But you know what? I'm still able to get through it. I'm not stuck in my house.
The point is that you can't control this anyway. Right. So what are you going to do about it? You can choose to see the beauty in it, or you can choose to just be miserable all day.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So at the end of and that's how my day ends.
Yeah.
So I do believe like my sleep is affected by what my last thoughts are.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So if there's things going on in your life, but you're able to write down 3 things you're grateful for, even if you don't do the 5-minute journal, throw that out the window. You don't even have to write it. You can just like lay there and think about 3 things you're grateful for. We can all come up with 3 things and let that be your last thoughts. Whatever, different things work for different people. For me, meditation works.
Well, what I like about the writing it down is that you're coming out of your head. So one of the biggest struggles I've been having with just manifesting and being more in that heart space is staying in that heart space, because naturally we have been conditioned and taught and trained to go to the logic, to the brain, to the mind. So I even like the mindfulness about it, like even that word is like, it's all about the mind, and we should be calling it heartfulness, not mindfulness, because it's the heart space that we want to focus on. So when I try to do things in my head, inevitably I land back in my head. So that's why I really enjoy the writing part of it, because it keeps the head out of it. Like it literally just funnels whatever is coming from my heart through the pen onto paper, and I don't have to think about it.
I sometimes, even when I'm driving, if I have a thought of something positive or a quote or something, I'm like, wow, I just thought of that, brilliant. I record it on my phone. And at the end of the day, I'll play those recordings and then I write them down. Or really I just keep them on my phone. As you're driving, shouldn't be writing.
No, preferably not.
Distracted driving. But you know, I make a point of like, because thoughts go in and out. Like how many thoughts do we have a day? Like
my goodness.
I don't even know the statistic, but it's like in the tens of thousands.
That's right.
You know? So when you think of something brilliant, write it down or record it and listen. Like those are your words, you know? We know what we need.
Don't think
it's in there.
100%.
You know, it's in there. And but we're so busy thinking about our day and our next task and this person and that person and groceries and dinner and
you're in your head.
This show that's going to be on tonight, and you know, like whatever it is, that we let the important thoughts just pass by. Right? So when we're living mindfully in a vibration of awareness, you don't let those thoughts pass by, and then you realize how brilliant you are. You know, like we're our own best source of everything we need. It's all in here.
So is there in your routine, is there a space where you recognize your brilliance? Like, is there some form of ritual or something where you give yourself not just gratitude for all the external things, but also gratitude for your brilliance?
So at the end of my day, when I go to do my meditation, I don't just say thanks for all the external stuff. I do thank myself for allowing myself to stay in my space. And that's usually the first thing I say, you know.
Wow. Okay.
So when I go to meditate, whether I'm just like laying in bed and I'm going to be listening to a guided meditation, or if I'm actually doing my yoga practice or what have you, and I go into my space, for me personally, I always put my hands like this and I visualize words falling into my hands, and they're words, you know, of what I feel for myself. So beauty, kindness, like the things that I feel I am, truly, and I stand behind that, you know. And then I thank myself. I thank myself for allowing myself to be these things today, to being true to myself, to being a kind human, for, you know, touching this person or that person, or allowing myself the 5-10 minutes to have a meltdown and be, you know, a shit show, pardon my French, for the 10 minutes that I need to be, but allowing myself to have that space, you know? be thankful for that, that you've honored yourself and you've allowed yourself to be respectful to your own feelings, you know, and be kind to yourself. I just think it's really important to start your day off on a positive note and end it on a positive note. No matter what noise happened in between, allow yourself to have the spaces and pockets of whatever you need during the day.
Or you can respond to it completely differently. So let's talk about manifesting in more detail. So this conversation is really important because we really need to set the foundation for and something you said earlier is that manifestation isn't something that you just throw out and you say I wish for and then it happens. You have to vibrationally set your routine or your,
and it's an ongoing thing. And so I read this. Who didn't read The Secret or watch the movie when it came out 15 years ago or whatever it was? And we're all like manifesting gurus. No. No. And I, you know, for example, the course. We talked about me doing your course, and I said I'm going to manifest this course because I want this course. And I won the course. Like,
so I was giving one ticket to the LEAP program away, and Kasia was the winner of this. And it was like you said, you had already paid for the course, or committed to it, and you put your first payment onto it, and then you said, I'm going to win this ticket. Because
it was at the end of that conversation, you're like, well, I'm going to have this contest. And I'm like, well, I'm going to win that. Well, I'm going to win. And so I put it out there and I worked towards it. I obviously committed to the course already. I wasn't like sitting back being like, all right, call me when I win. You know, I was like, I'm committed. I started taking steps to prepare for the course. You know, I got my notebook. I started doing a few preparation things. And then I remember we were going to my sister's for dinner. I had turned on my phone and I actually forgot you were doing the draw. And I had Facebook open on my phone when I closed it. So when I opened my phone, it opened to Facebook and you said my name like at that exact time. And Chad's like, what'd you win now? Because this is what happens to me, you know? And I'm like, oh, I totally forgot. But like immediately, I think I text you and I was like, oh my goodness, like, thank you. So, and I was thankful before I even won. I was thankful that I was going to be able to be a part of this amazing program. And, you know, this was just the icing on the cake.
So let's work that backwards. So, and let's use this as an example since we've already talked about it. So what you did is you set your intentions around, this is an experience I want to live. I want to be part of this. I don't know yet how it's all going to work out, and I financially may not be even in a position to purchase this.
And that was the kicker, right? I was not in a position to pay for the program, but I was like, I will find the money. That was my thing.
So there was this trust there, that it will come about whichever way it needs to.
And most things we want or need are things we're lacking or we feel we're lacking. We're probably not a lot of the time. It's somewhere around us. We're just not open to receiving it. But, you know, I could have very easily been like, you know what? Let me know when the next one is. Right? But I felt I needed this and I wanted this. And there usually is a frustration associated with the want or the need, because we wouldn't want or need these things if we could attain them easily. So let yourself have that frustration, but get it out of the way, put it in its place and go. And if you really want that, move forward towards that goal. So, you know, I was like, money's tight, can't afford to pay this course right now. Went through my emotions of no, negative. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure it out because I want it bad enough. And then from that moment, I didn't allow myself to be like, oh, how am I going to do this? Oh, no, this is a mistake. As soon as you throw that out there, you're putting negative energy and vibration towards what you want.
You're confusing the universe.
And the negative, unfortunately, our negative energy is a lot stronger than our positive. It's like the little devil on the shoulder usually wins, right?
Well, I feel like we're more used to listening to the negative, and that's why
it's the easy out.
It's the easy out. It's the excuse. It's the so it
Yeah, it's the easy out. So if you really want something, this is the thing about manifestation. When The Secret came out, everybody was like, I want to win the lottery. Well, this doesn't work. You know, I want this. Well, this doesn't work. No. Dig down. Why do you want this?
Yeah.
What are the reasons? Write it out, map it out, draw a spider web, start with the lottery in the middle. What do you need? What will this give you? What emotion will this bring on? What will you do with this money? Is it just for yourself? Who else can you affect with this? For myself, I was ready for some growth and development and figuring out my passion, right? And this is why I needed this course or this program.
Yeah.
And I was at a point where nothing was going to stop me. And so I didn't care. I put my negatives, I dealt with them, put them out, and then you focus on, what is this going to give me? Where is this going to take me? Who else will it affect? How will it affect those people? And you draw from that, and that's what you focus on. Mm-hmm. What emotions are you going to feel when you accomplish this or when you get what you want? You know? Yes. And is that going to be enough, or are you going to move from there? And is that in a positive way, or is that not enough?
Well, it's never about the money.
No, it's not.
The money is just your guiding, the guiding light, if you will, that says, what do I really need? And digging into your core desired feelings will enable you to really get to what it is.
So you work it backwards, right? So you want money to alleviate pressure of debt, to alleviate pressure of stress, to give you that relief so you can focus on your family, so you can focus on joy, so you can focus on happiness. Right. Those are the things you need to focus on, right? And the other thing is, we need to be open to receiving things that probably are not going to come in the way that you're expecting them to come.
Yeah. And that's a big thing. That's going right back to the control thing, right?
Yes,
we want to control every aspect of this.
Yes.
When really it's going back to the trust and the openness that the support can come in various ways.
Well, and you might be handed a stepping stone to the next level to get you to that ultimate thing, but most people quit halfway up the ladder. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's taking too much time. Yeah. It's not the way that they imagined. An example I really like to use about manifestation is a mom who needs childcare or needs money for childcare. And she needs X amount of dollars, so she throws it in the universe and follows through with the steps, you know, goes through being positive, thinking this is going to come about. In the following month, she's offered care for her child. Her neighbors are like, hey, bring your kid here. You know, this other friend can drive this child to whatever, but she keeps refusing because she's like, no, I'll take care of it. But these are the ways that childcare, she needs money for childcare, but she's getting offers for childcare in a different way where it's not going to cost her anything. So she is getting opportunity for what she wants, but so closed off because it's not in this form, because this is a form she's expecting. Yeah. So we have to be open to things coming to us in a different form. Yeah. You know? So for the program, I was like, I'm going to find the money. I'm going to figure it out. Yeah. I don't care. I ended up winning. So it cost me nothing, you know? But I was open to that. I was open to it coming in whatever way, shape, or form that it needed to come to me at that time. And if I hadn't won, I would have found a way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you manifest. Do you want to share your story that you just shared with me when, again, you were needing some money?
The financial.
You needed some money. And I don't want to make this about money manifesting alone, but it's a great example because it's probably one of the fastest way we can see the
And for me, it is a very common thing. Yeah. Right? I don't manifest for lottery. I don't manifest for winning because for me, that's unrealistic. I probably could, but it's unrealistic. Yeah. I manifest... For example, I have rental properties. We had some lates and obviously kind of fell behind. I didn't want to pull money out of anywhere. And so I was driving and I was very stressed that morning and I allowed my stress to overtake me. And I was like, okay, this needs to stop. This needs to end because this isn't doing me any favors. So I said, okay, I need to alleviate the stress, this feeling. So I need to trust that it will come about when it's meant to. literally within 5 minutes. I had a phone call from a girlfriend I haven't talked to for ages. I couldn't pick up the phone, and so she didn't leave a message. She had texted me and said, I just need your address. I have a check here for you from this policy that was canceled. It was something from over a year ago. She goes, we've been trying to send this check to you and keeps coming back. And I had moved, so I sent her my address yesterday or the day before I got the check, thinking it'll be for a couple $100. No, it was for pretty much the exact amount I needed to cover the negative,
the lack of the
Yeah.
rent. Yeah. Wow.
Like within dollars.
Yeah.
Like, so totally unexpected, totally out of left field. This check could have come to me a year ago when I didn't need it. Could have come to me 6 months ago when I didn't need it, but it came when I needed it. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is the universe, God, the Almighty, whatever you want to call that, will always provide you what you need when you need it, as long as you're open to it.
Yes.
But if you stop that and you cut that cord before it's time, of course it's not going to come true, right? So you got to have faith. You got to have that mindfulness. You got to have that positive vibration.
Yeah, and it's not like, to use like a metaphor for a second, it's not like you drink 3 liters of water today and by tomorrow you're like, yes, I'm a water drinker. I regularly drink.
I just had
my
this conversation with a girlfriend.
Right?
Yes.
It's just, or another one that might work for some of us is the going to the gym. Yeah, I went to the gym this one day and all of a sudden,
look at my muscles.
I should be 10 pounds lighter and blah, blah, blah. I really like how you're speaking to the consistency.
Yeah.
And the routine and the ritual, I should say, that is the vibration, because vibration is something that builds.
Yeah.
It's not something that you just turn on and off at will.
Yeah.
It maybe at some point, if you have enough in the battery pack, you can do that.
Yeah.
But you need to have a consistency in that.
And almost as important is gratitude. I have gratitude and thankfulness throughout the day.
Yeah.
Literally, like after I'm done this coffee and I go put the mug in the sink, really quickly it just goes through my mind and my heart where I'm grateful that I had this cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I'm thankful I got here safe. Yeah. I'm thankful I'm sitting here with you.
Yeah.
Like, there's constant gratitude that comes in, and I might not say it out loud, but it's there.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning and I'm thankful I woke up. A lot of people don't, unfortunately. I was a nurse for 8 years, and I had the honor of working in a hospice for quite a few of those years. It was really eye-opening to see what at the end of life people are thankful for and what they're not thankful for, and what their biggest regrets are. And a lot of the biggest regrets are not being vocal about who they were thankful for, what they were thankful for. We have such a aversion to telling people, like, you're beautiful, I love your hair, you look great today, or just out of the blue. Especially people we see on a regular basis. It's okay to tell someone they look beautiful every day, and to not be like, oh, they're gonna start thinking I'm weird. No. Like, I'm big on that.
And yes, you are. I can attest to that.
I'll randomly text people and be like, hey, has anyone told you you're amazing today? You are.
Yeah.
And I think it's important, because we're putting that out there. You're going to get more of that back. And we also have to be grateful and thankful for receiving those compliments. We need to learn to put it out, but also accept and be grateful. So when little things come about, when you're trying to manifest something large, we have to be accepting of the little things that are coming about, because there probably are stepping stones towards that large goal. But we need to actually accept and be like aware, like, oh, hey, I have this opportunity to have this meeting with this person. Maybe that's going to get me there. And try and connect. And if it doesn't, who cares? Move on to the next one. But don't be like, oh, that was a waste of time. No. There's always something good out of everything. Never a waste of time. If anything, it gave you, a mental break from whatever else you're dealing with.
Yeah, there's always
always
a
something.
silver lining. Yeah, absolutely.
But we need to watch for, like, the mom right, that's needing money for childcare.
I love that
Childcare is
example.
coming left, right, and center. You are getting what you need. But so closed-minded that unaccepting, stressing more because now she's short on time because she's trying to figure out her own childcare and she's waiting for that check or that money or that dollar. You know, it's coming in a different form. So we have to be mindful of that. And then when you receive something, continue on that vibration.
Yeah.
You know, be like, yes, I got it.
Yeah.
I did this.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I
And
know
then
you're
continue
big on
on.
this because you share it right away.
Yeah.
Like you talk about it right away
Yes.
with the people close to you.
Anything.
Or, yeah.
Anything good that happens. I'm like, guess what? Everybody stop what you're doing. This is happening to me. I was like, seriously, we had a dinner party the other, like 2 weeks ago. And I had two of my besties in the kitchen. Everybody else kind of off. And I'm like, you guys, can I share something with you? And my girlfriend goes, well, you're going to anyway. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't have to listen. But I am going to share it.
Yeah.
Because someone needs to hear it.
Yeah.
Whether you listen to me or not, I gotta like, right?
Yeah.
Let it out.
Yeah.
I want the universe to hear that, hey, I'm aware,
Yeah.
right? I'm aware this is good and this is happening to me
Yeah.
and I'm grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm proud. And it's okay to be proud of yourself. It's okay to pat yourself on the back. We're so hard on ourselves. We're so heavy on ourselves. We create our own noise. We're in charge of that. I was a very noisy person. My head, man, my heart, like crazy. But now, like, you know, you need to let it out, whether it's good, bad, indifferent.
Yeah.
Deal with it and move on.
Closer and closer to just being okay with who you are.
Yeah.
And being enough. Not okay, just being enough.
Yeah.
With who you are and where you are. Yeah.
At your core, you have to be firm. And it's a constant growth process. You know, we change as people because we have to adapt to our environments, our expanding and growing life. You know, you have kids or you have a marriage or you go travel or you change jobs or whatever. Things are constantly evolving around us.
Yeah.
And that's going to affect our core. But at the end of the day, we have to know, you know, and be settled in who we are. For many years, I struggled with that. You know, I'm very open about this. I had an eating disorder for 18 years. It was a struggle. I hated myself. I was really hard on myself. But nothing can replace the love you have for yourself. And being a good start is just by accepting a compliment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even if you, inside you're like, no, just say thanks.
Just say thanks.
And
yeah.
move on.
Yeah, I say that
You
all
know?
the time.
Just say thanks and move on.
Before I let you go, what do you have anything else that you really, really want the world to know?
I think mindfulness is really, really important. Mindfulness and gratitude, those two things. I think if you can really incorporate those two things into your day every day, and it takes time. And I still have days where I'm like, oh my God, bad day, you know, it's going to happen. But when the 80-20 rule, you know, try and do that and try to shift the 20 to be the not so great stuff from, you know, it being the other way.
Yeah.
Set your intention, be really open, allow yourself to have your little quarrely moments, but do it mindfully.
Yeah.
You know, because there's an end. When you're mindful, there's an end. When you're mad at yourself or something else, and you do it mindfully, you can work your way through it and put it away. And then you move on. Happy vibrations. Carry them through your day. You know, set your intentions in the morning. Do it at night too. So that in-between stage when our minds are resting, they're in a happy place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For all of your magnificent wisdom.
My pleasure.
I love talking about this topic with you, and I want to thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you for having me.
As always, the best conversations happen after the episode on yvonnewinkler.com/The Freedom Seeker Show. So go there, leave a comment, and let me know what resonated most with you and why. And while you're there, Be sure to subscribe to our email list and become a Freedom Seeker Insider. You will get instant access to an audio I created called The 5 Steps to a Freedom Life, as well as some special content, exclusive giveaways, and some personal updates from me that I don't share anywhere else except maybe texting my BF.